This clip here isn't directly related with crypto, but it does show what can happen when the big boys come to play. Institutions are lining up, BlackRock and others. Check out the clip.
It's Vespuccia. I'm gonna show you how a bitch go down a slide. Mother of God. Hey, you dirty.
What's happening, crypto crew? Sean's coming back at you, another cryptocurrency video. You see the big boys are coming to play. Have you been stacking sats? Have you been accumulating this entire bear cycle? If you haven't been accumulating, what are you waiting for? We have a jam-packed video for you today, so getting straight into it. Taking a look at the Bitcoin price chart. At the current time it's recording, this is Bitcoin versus the US dollar on the monthly. At the current time it's recording, Bitcoin's coming in at 25,821. And what do we see? What do we anticipate? So looking at the charts on the monthly time frame, we're looking here. At the last peak in 2017, 577 days. Why are we looking at this? Because 577 days is the time it took from the peak to when we hit our head on this upwards resistance. This upwards resistance line actually started to form when Bitcoin fell from this peak, because you see these two candles were exactly identical, so they cancel each other out. And then we fell through here, came back up and retested, fell, and then fell off a cliff. So this is the actual resistance line. And we came back up through the 2019 bear cycle, didn't make it quite up there, but wicked up to it, double bottomed out, ultimately with the pandemic dump, and then blasted up. And look what happened. We had this double peak here, but put in a higher high, 577 days. Look where we're at. We retested this level. 577 days, we retested this level right here. 577 days from the peak, we retested the level right here. So this is sort of rhyming from the last cycle, from the peak to the 2019 bear cycle to the 2023 bear cycle. So if we look and see how far down this retracement went from peak to the bodies, because we're not going to count the pandemic dump, we went down 53%. So are we going to see a dump down 53% from where Bitcoin is right now? If that's the case, we would then put in a lower low. So is that in the cards? Is that in the realm of possibility? Maybe not. So let's take a different measured move. Let's measure from the bodies, not the wicks. If we measure from the bodies down to these candle bodies, that's still a 40% drawdown to the downside. So if we go from the candle body top, 40% down, that would take us roughly back down to 18.3K, which would not be as low as is low here currently, and that could be then a similar double bottom pattern out before blasting up after the halving, similar to what we did here. Is that what Bitcoin has in the cards? Are we going to see more downwards price action? Taking a look at the total crypto market capitalization, what do we see here as well? So we're going to look at this in a different light. So if you were around in 2019 when Bitcoin had this rally in the 2019 run, this was definitely euphoria. This was an anomaly. So if we look here, we look here, these were the two anomalies in this bear cycle. Really, Bitcoin should have just stair-stepped its way up to the upside in similar fashion. So really, what we can ignore is this pattern here, just this spike up, and we can see it came right back down below the 20 moving average, and then got back above it here, and on the retest, wicked back below it with the pandemic dump. So right here was really when we blasted out of the from under that 20 moving average. That's roughly 699 days. Well, look where we are right now, 669 days. We are in about a month away of when we could get back above this orange line. As far as the overall crypto market capitalization, at the current time it's recording, the orange line sits around $1.155 trillion. And that could be when that bull rally actually starts going to that 2024 halving. From an update from El Crypto Prof, Bitcoin. This is the first time in 10 years that the volatility indicator BBWP shows bars for Bitcoin again. In 2013, the bars were red and both times signaled a crash over 70%. Now it's sitting above the SMA 20 and the BBWP is showing a blue bar. So what he's talking about is these red bars that flashed once again. Flash crash, when these flashed in the BBWP, fell down, fell off a cliff, fell down off a cliff. And right here, look what we see here. We are just flipping the SMA 20 from resistance to support while getting this blue bar, which calls for a blast up to the upside. So are you ready for this upwards momentum? Another update from Stock Money Lizards. If you're not on a 5-minute time frame, you'll see what's actually happening. Year-end target, he's calling for 45 to 50K. So what he's saying is, bottom of the bear market, we came out, we flipped this resistance to support, and this pre-halving correction before blasting up. And same thing right here, bear market bottoming. This is the pre-halving correction, just trading in this channel from 24,000 up to about 30,000. When we get back above this, how high are we going to get? He says 45 to 50K. That would be in line with, after every peak, Bitcoin would come back up and hit this level pre-halving, which we called out in previous videos, around that $47,000 threshold. And look at this from Elon Musk. He says, live by the block, die by the blank. Putting out some cryptic tweets. Makes it seem live by the block, die by the chain, die by the block. Is this something that, does he know that the market's going to crash? Does he see something that we don't? Does he have some inside information? Cryptic tweets, what's your thought on this? Does Elon have something up his sleeve? Please comment below, let us know. And remember, Bitcoin is the only certainty for your sovereignty. It's fully decentralized and nobody can confiscate it. They can't print more, they can't delete it, they can't manipulate it. So with Bitcoin, are you stacking sats? Remember this, check out this quick clip.
How long before we're a cashless society?
This is where I get scared because it's too similar to the mark of the beast. It's too similar to exactly what it says. You won't be able to trade. You won't be able to do anything unless you have the mark.
How's the mark of the beast described in the Bible? We should read it. Then I saw another beast rising out of the earth. It had 2 horns like a lamb, and it spoke like a dragon. It deceives those who dwell on earth. It also causes all, both small and great, both rich and poor, both free and slave, to be marked on the right hand or the forehead, so that no one can buy or sell unless he has the mark. This calls for wisdom. Let the one who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.